memo that the U.S. Border Patrol chief sent to sector chiefs last night allowing for parole releases if overcrowding becomes an issue. That's not Title VIII, like you said, would happen. I mean, these migrants don't get an alien registration number that would be used to track them. They don't get a court date. They're instead asked to self-report to ICE within 60 days. You said at the beginning that you've prepared for this moment for almost 2 years. So why is part of that plan an honor system?
Oh, it is not an honor system. What we do is we use the resources that we have to meet the challenges that we can. When we encounter a volume of individuals for which we need to address in a different way, we do so. If those individuals do not honor their commitment to surrender to an immigration and customs enforcement officer to be able to be placed in enforcement proceedings, they are a subject of our apprehension efforts.
You said that it would be a fraction of migrants that this happens with. How many is a fraction when you've had almost 6 million illegal crossings under this administration?
We, last year, removed, returned, and expelled approximately 1.4 million individuals. That is the most in any 1 year.
Will you be on shaky legal ground, though, with mass releases?
Well, first of all, your question has a factual predicate with which I would disagree about mass releases, number one. But releases of individuals subject to immigration enforcement proceedings is not something particular to this administration.
It's a case-by-case basis, and this would not be on a case-by-case basis.
We implement our operations in conjunction with the Department of Justice, and we have confidence in the lawfulness of.
In El Paso say that there are hundreds of migrants now in the open, in shelter with very limited access to food and water and bathrooms for days. Why are they being processed? Is that what we can expect?
So we are working very closely with nonprofit organizations, with community groups, to really deliver a community response to the challenge. I cannot I cannot overstate how much of a challenge it is going to be, and how we all have to deal with it as one administration and one country. Fundamentally, we need Congress to act.
The president said this week that the situation on the southern border is going to be chaotic for a while. Given the fact that you've had nearly 2 years to prepare for this moment, how can chaos be the expectation?
Well, I have said for months and months that the challenge at the border is and is going to be.
Some of those aren't even in place yet. It wasn't until 2 weeks ago that you announced these plans to open these regional processing centers. As far as I'm aware, they're not open yet. Of the 1,500 troops that the president deployed, only 550 are actually on the ground. So given how long you have known that Title 42 is ending on May 11th, why aren't all of these measures already in place?